Hey y'all, hey, I'm back. I really been sitting and talking with you guys. I gotta make time to make these videos more, but I know a lot of people think like um, talking about the moon and the cycles and all that's very woo woo. Okay, God made it everything, and we feel things from that transition. We just came, or I guess we're in the phase of the blue moon. And I've been very, very emotional. I mean, very emotional lately. And I just been letting it go. Okay, I don't care where I am, what's going on. If the emotions is coming, I'm gonna just go ahead and cry it out. Let it purge from my system. That's what I feel like's happening. Is a huge purge. And my oldest niece just turned 16 today, which has had me in a whole nother realm of emotion, right? She was the first baby born from my siblings, and I wrote her a letter just expressing to her like she was the awakening that we could love differently. Like we had a choice to do it different. And I'm so grateful that God gave us her. Like she was all of our firstborn, okay? Um, and it's just crazy that it's right now that her birthday is, because I've just been feeling like that, like just the awakening to the new. Because God has just been so good. Like I'll never be able to express that enough from the things I've seen and experienced and the places I come from. I'll just never be able to express enough to people how good God is. And I have been going through a plethora of things, but I just want to take a minute and hold space for people that are holding childhood wounds. Like, it's a heavy thing to carry the pain of your childhood and not know what to do with that. I carried it for years. And it made me very angry because I'm just like, why? I just could not fathom why. And especially when I became an adult, I just could not, my mind couldn't process like how people do this kind of things to children, like physical, mental, sexual, spiritual abuse. Like, how do you do this to a kid? And it's just never for me to make sense of. I don't understand it. I'm never gonna understand it because it's not my path. You know, it's not. I don't have that kind of mind to do that, so it'll never make sense to me. And that might be for somebody. Like you can't keep on trying to make sense of it. Like a lot of times we want an explanation, and we want an apology, and we want somebody to rectify what has happened. I don't know that there will be anything that does that except for healing from it. Um, I sought the apology for a long time. Um, I tried to understand for a long time. And it really wasn't until I was like trying to have a family that I'm like, okay, what? I got to put all that stuff down, and I just got to figure out what I need to do from here. Y'all hear that playing? Um, and I did. I just sat with God with it. Like, that's really the only thing that you can do is like really just sit with God and get real transparent. And I feel like people feel like you have to talk to God in a certain way um, for it to get heard. And I believe you have to talk to God in a certain way, but it's transparent. Okay, it's not a line of words that you use to get through. It's not a eloquence of how it's said that will get you heard. I really believe it's just vulnerability and transparency, um, and raw. Just getting raw with God and just saying how you genuinely feel about it so you can work through it. Um, I was talking to somebody about vulnerability yesterday, and I was just like, I don't know if you can have a healthy connection without being vulnerable in a way that you can share the parts of yourself that you were scared to face at some point. Like, there's parts of all of us that we just don't even want to face in ourselves because it's just like, ooh, that's too real. we be like, that's too real for me to face. How anybody else gonna deal with it? And it's because you have to deal with it. Like, you have to see yourself, like, the darkest parts of yourself. You have to, like, really lay it all on the table. Like, you have to lay it all on the table and just get raw and say how you really feel about things. Not what is politically correct. And that's why you have to do it alone, right? Like, you have to get there alone because it has to, you got to get to the nitty gritty of it. I don't know how to better say it. Like, you have to get to the nitty gritty of it. And once you get to that point, it'll feel like you can't come back from it. I remember when I first, like, revealed all the things I was carrying, it was like word vomit. Like, once it started, I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever get the courage to do it again. So I, like, just laid everything out. And I cried for days. I literally cried for days. Because I just had never grieved it. I had never felt it. I had just tucked it in a dark place. And that dark place was making me angry. But I never felt it. So once I did feel it, it was like an outpouring that I couldn't shut the door. Like, I couldn't, like, the emotions were so raw and just, like, raging that I couldn't, like, shut the door on it. And it was needed. It was needed. I had to get that out of me. And it started a process of me being able to be, like, honest with myself about the things I was feeling about my everyday stuff. You hold that in for so long, you can't even process what you're feeling in the everyday because feelings can't be real in trauma. Okay, we'll get to a point that we have locked stuff up for so long that it's like we're a doppelganger of ourselves. Like, we're in there. We're doing our daily tasks. We're moving on autopilot, but we're not living. We have to get to a point where we can be real and honest with ourselves so you can live. I was in trauma and survival mode for majority of my life. And once I had outpoured that, I'm like, no, I just want to get to the most genuine, authentic version of myself. And it got weird for a while because I just, like, got on this healing journey where I wanted to be positive, like, speak life into everything, speak life into myself, and just, just be sharing love, like just offering that up wherever I went. But it had got to a point where I wasn't being genuine, and like life still hurts. Okay, like people are still cruel. Like there's darkness with light, and you can't ignore one for the other. We try, even in our anger, like you want to be angry and raging and telling people how they owe you something and how they should have done better or whatever, but you still want love. Like you still want to smile, you still want to feel joy, you just don't know how. And I guess I'm saying all that to say, like, once you begin to heal up that trauma, once you begin to heal those things up, you can get to a side of being realistic, genuine, and authentic with yourself, that with the light is dark and with the dark is light. And the balance of the two is what's going to give you that healthy place where you can connect with people. And you get to a place where you can be that with yourself, you're able to be that for others. You can't do it before then. And I think a lot of times we think we can. We're like, if I love other people how I want to be loved, then it'll force them to do the same for me, and it's not going to happen. You have to get to a place where you can love yourself like that, where you can be honest and transparent with yourself like that, where you can be genuine in your most authentic version with yourself. So it doesn't detour with other people. It doesn't change the situations when you get into different situations and circumstances. You are you. And when you're moving in that space, it begins to shift things around you. It really does. I am a living example of it. I'm not talking to you about anything that I have not lived and don't know for myself. It began to shift things around me in the way I showed up, in the way I received, and the things I accepted, and the boundaries I set, and the new standards I had. Everything began to change. And even the things around you that you have been accepting, okay, you won't be able to for much longer. Once you start healing up and you're moving in a genuine and authentic place, you will not be able to be there. You won't be able to dwell around the foolishness. Like, you just won't be able to do it anymore. Okay, confirmation. You just won't be able to do it anymore because God has changed something in you. Okay, changed for the best version of you, for the new that He's walking you into. And it just feels so good. It just feels so good to be able to not have on a mask, not have to filter yourself to say, like, this is hurting me. You know, there will be relationships you have where you just can't be honest. Like, I don't like that. And I don't want to be around that. I don't want you talking to me like that. Like, there will be places when you're wearing a mask that you just won't be able to speak up for yourself. You are your biggest advocate. And so stop focusing on other people to be the change in your life. Focus on the things that you need to work on, that you need to heal, that you need to grow from. And like, really just get with Yeshua. Like, it's okay to be still and be silent. A lot of the problem is we're like constantly wanting to be distracted. And sometimes you gotta just sit outside, put your feet in the grass, put your hands, okay, in the grass, hug a tree, take some deep breaths, and just sit like nature sits, okay? Just be amongst the things that God created with no distractions, and you'll start hearing a lot clearer. You'll start moving better, healthier decisions for yourself. And before you know it, the life will be so much greater later that you'll forget the sorrows of the past. You'll just be so grateful, like you're just in a new place, being different. I love you. God knows what I deserve. God knows what you deserve. Mm-mm-mm.